Most welcome to Unified Fields. I had this question: why do people want artificial intelligence? Why do they rather give their power, their knowledge, their intelligence into a robot and not open that up into themselves? Why would a robot or artificial intelligence be able to do much more than a human being can? I have no clue. I have no idea why that would give people more passion, because it would take every power, every virtue, every sweet endeavors we could have with the universe away. So this is something I would like to understand on many levels. A reason why I put out seminars is really to bring the energy back into the body from its origin, and understanding energy is understanding energy fields, is understanding connections with the universe, with the planetary system, with the galaxies, and so much more. I mean, there is endless beautiful things out there. Scientists have not been able to understand up to now, but there's a lot of knowledgeable people that did a lot of work during the past 20 years in order to get people into frequencies that align to the origin of their vibration and understanding the vibration, so not lacking in energy, not getting self down in low mentality, the disease of the airplane, versus lighted that has fused crystalline consciousness and thus a high level of intelligence, all along the co-creations we establish with the elements, with the repair of the elements, with the galaxies, and our communication system that can elevate each day these days, because everything has been repaired. It's up to us to take responsibility. But I'm also very glad that I've seen a few physicians and scientists agreeing upon the breathing system that is absolutely everything to get back into your knowledge, into your vibration, into the intelligence, and how we can upgrade knowledge like on an everyday level and open new factors in intelligence. I've been talking a lot in my other videos about the mental director in the brain, how all these capabilities, capacities within our glandular system, within the nervous system, need to merge in order to connect with higher levels of consciousness. And so whenever the debris that holds us back is being eliminated in the body, everything that caused decay, that caused disease, that is now held in mentality, in your physical fitness levels, in your dietary systems, but especially, of course, consciousness, because if we don't elevate our consciousness to a level of diplomacy, to a level of integrity, to a level of respect, and take the decision really to cut down the old belief systems we have been living through for such a long time, then it's incredible what we can create. So what I'll do in the seminars is really reestablish the energy field that flow with the planetary system, the solar system, uploading your connection with the sun, your original sun streams. And what happened to fracture that is that it caused so many diseases. So flowing out of those limitations and we connect also with the Milky Way, the solar system, the celestial system, and the universal system is what gets your vibration back into your sense, into your capacities, your powers, and there's so much potential we have forgotten or do not know how to load. And so during these 7 days, we will open these capacities, flow into the higher levels of technology, universal technology, flow into the languages of light, and how we can re-encode the body through its connection with the crystalline kingdoms, to your bone structure, to the bloodstream, the glandular system, the exocrine system, the endocrine system, and the largest gland, of course, your skin, right? And after that, there is an enormous amount of flow particles that can fuse together depending on your elimination procedures. When they are upgraded and your consciousness opens up to a universal plateau of mentality, there is so much that can be reloaded in the body, not only through codes, mathematics, symbolism, but also through your conscious connection with the mana star systems, the moons, the suns, and everything that is out there that is conscious communication. So quite obviously, we yearn to open that eternal eye, that eye of the divine, the eye of the creator, the eye of manifestations that have already been loaded in the body, but that are being held back through low mental nodes. So once these subconscious levels are being eliminated from the body, evaporated, anything that is old and that has not been upgraded into modern day technology, that cannot flow with anything that is ancient, because ancient technology requires an upgrade to anything that is being restructured, and in the first place, the level of mentality, the frequency that merges with new psychology, new philosophy. And that all comes down to the Philosopher's Stone that broke into 2 pieces many years ago. And so that is what we are doing exactly, repairing that and bringing unity in anything that was male-female components, and how important that is to bring back full level or 100% brain capacity you need to merge with a perfect eternal mate. So that for me, that is a male partner, and from there on, partnerships can truly fuel a very high level of communication, intercommunications with the galaxies. And then it becomes interesting how that is being put out through your consciousness, and how we can open up all that new technology in modern day society. And that goes from new technology in architecture, new technology in health, new technology in healing diseases. So all these things you can learn about. It's all about willing, or in the first place, accepting you are living that vibration that was born on ego consciousness, leaving ego behind and starting to vibrate full-time in spirit consciousness. That is massive what we can load. And so all of that goes along your physical fitness levels, because without a circulation you cannot circulate new information. That is plain and simple. And so we need to leave anything that caused fear, anything that caused disbelief. I need to work our trust levels back in. I'll tell you something very interesting. I encountered myself, like I was running my miles and like I was going like focus, 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 and keep your focus. Even if you run in 2 or 3 years, you just keep your focus. And I was talking with the universe, like saying, like, I would really like to know what it is to feel a Holy Spirit. What is Holy Spirit? So, and I saw all of a sudden many, many, many pink wheels of light with many spokes and expansion. I told myself this cannot be, but kept on running and focus, 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 because I had been trained into that. And so it was quite an interesting one. So my level of disbelief kept me from getting the higher levels of designs through. Designs is pure information, and that information is so, so important. Today I'm getting back to that design. So why would I not be able to load the Holy Spirit and know what that is in the body? Because that is a higher level of wisdom, of course. And so having a bit of logic in the earth has no logic. Living light earth with the crystalline grids and all that data that comes through it gives you instant proof in the body and changes in mentality. So it's a bit the reversal of how science works today. And so getting that proof through is a matter of loading, reloading, getting into the deeper levels and sitting with that knowledge that you receive without discussing it. We don't discuss the purity of spirit. We accept. We are grateful for that information, and we upgrade from there on. What do we do in science? We discuss, and so information gets back down. It gets into decay, and we cannot have a high level of pure information in a body that lives in distrust, in disbelief, in decay, in crappy health measures, and so on. So it is quite understandable when we would like to tap into a high level of information and everyday data. It's very important to clear the body, to clear your consciousness, to open many levels to that particular part in the body that is so important. Because if we cannot generate flow through the thyroid and parathyroid glands, there ain't no flow in your brain to upgrade. There ain't no flow in anything that makes up a human organism. So we need to upgrade our biology, like on an everyday level as well, because that is evolution. If we would still eat barbaric foods like so many eons ago, we would still live in that type of consciousness. And so if we purify consciousness and let go of anything that was the past, that was anything that broke the human body down, and especially knowledge and intelligence, then there is no end to what we can create, co-create with the universe and all 12 universes and into beyond, because there is no end to co-creative energy fields, to co-creative ways of light, and especially working with the elements such as the flow of water through the body. Think about the body as almost 95% of water, and we let it go into the lower components of emotion. When we open that up into high sensibility and flow with the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, and anything that is as a water component on the body, we come to a high level of understanding how easy it is to change our biology in perfect health, to change our mental capabilities. And the most important thing here that will be is that our energy fields that can expand so many miles, from 5 to 10 miles to 20 and so on. It is our energy fields that coordinate with the energy grids of fields that are all celestial, universal, and that purify or bring back the origin of purified biology to the earth. And so it's a matter of listening to the elements and stepping into co-creation, because everything that is biology derives with and from the elements. So in order to be able or enable self to do these things and listen to what comes true, there is no other option but to accept that everybody needs to get rid of the old, flow into the new, and do the work that needs to be done in order to get there. It doesn't come with a flick of a finger. It takes work, it takes knowledge, it takes intelligence, it takes daily work orders, it takes massive discipline, of course. But if you have the passion and you work with your source, with the spark of self, and expand into its highest level with spirit in the brain and become the spirited inspiration, the brain parts that know from their etheric level and work with the inspiration of the spark. There is no end to how fast everybody can move into their elevators, or what is termed essentially ascension, but ascending from the debris of earth and moving into light earth and repairing everything on earth. So for me, no thank you for it, or to artificial intelligence. May be interesting, but I cannot make myself believe that a robot can upgrade into the many universes, into the beyond, and load that information for us. Why would we want to be that lazy? Why would we trust a robot, a machine? It has no spirit. It has no Holy Spirit, and will never be able to load that, because that is not divine world consciousness. It has no consciousness. It has loaded electronics that may work against humans in the end. So I don't think that is something really careful. It may be interesting for some kind of technology. But anyways, if we have so many data, so much food, and so many applications on a golden platter Why would we invite a robot to do the work for us? It's that we don't trust ourselves, that we have forgotten our beauty, that we have forgotten our intelligence, that we have forgotten our capabilities, our power to co-create as the creator self. And that, of course, at that level, we need the capacity of spirit in the body. And spirit can only be loaded when we let go of ego, or let's say clear up anything that has ego consciousness. And that is what brings the change. Breathing a consciousness of purity a million miles. Imagine what it does to the planet. Imagine your energy field in a particular place on Earth. Imagine what you can do in a week's time, in a month's time, in a year's time. We are hitting that age where everybody is waking up, has wakened up, and now we're hitting the age where are you willing to do the work? Or, you know, laziness is ego. It's unacceptable and has always been unacceptable. Working from the heart component with spirit and the body and so many levels of consciousness you can load at your command, at your demand. How can we disrespect such a high level of beauty, of love, integrity, respect, co-creation, and so much more? The first time I really connected with the elements was about 6 years ago. And I was immediately taken to the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. And I was shown a kind of black seed, very special black seed. I was told that humanity didn't know about these black seeds as of yet, which would be very healthy for the planet, for the human body, to change your biology, etc., etc. This is just one example. When we repair the coral kingdoms like the Great Barrier Reef and many other things in the oceans, then the elements will work with us and give us so much more power foods, and such as these black seeds. And it's quite understandable these higher levels of elements could not pop up for the human kingdom in such a low consciousness, because we would abuse it, and so abuse is not allowed in the higher kingdoms, because that is ego consciousness. Flowing full-time on spirit consciousness, I agree, it takes some work, but it is so much fun. It makes you happy every day, and I mean, elimination procedures are not that difficult today. It takes your will to do it, your will to leave mundane consciousness, the will to leave the decay of the body, the will to start to live and align to the origin of your lifelines and ley lines, and so many ley lines. Just Google the ley lines all over the earth. There's a lot more than the Google machine can show you, because when floating and flowing with spirit consciousness, there is no end to the connections we can make to the many Wi-Fi stations in the universe up there. And that is the proof we get, is your body, your consciousness, your mentality that changes every day. I have this video about proof, you know. And that is so beautiful and fantastic. So Would you like to join me in this 1 week seminar where we open up everything that you are and leave behind anything that was old, anything that broke you down, anything that was termed ego, decay, and no mentality whatsoever? Let's just do it, because you will come out of these 7 days with a high level of knowledge, wisdom, power, techniques, healing capacities, and modern day modems and applications that makes you change 24/7 every day again, depending on what your input is, depending on your goals, depending upon your capabilities and the origin of your power. The origin of your powers is within your passion. And passion loaded with fresh data every day and new knowledge that can change humanity, that can change neuroscientists, that can change physicians, that can change neurologists, that can change psychiatrists, that can change doctors, because they have to change whatever is not okay in the biology and mentality of people's embodiment. And when we can do that, we can bring health back on the planet. We don't need to work or invent new medication, because the universe supplies every medication through nature. It's a matter of willing to tap into that knowledge. It's a matter of willing to re-educate self. It's a matter of wanting everything that you are. Anyways, we are moving so fast, the flow is going and going and going. There will come a time we will have no choice. Choices are done. Because who would want to stream of free will these days? Well, divine will is so easy. You align to divine will and you get the correct access points in the body. You get everything into precision. Well, free will would say, I want this and this and this and this, while divine will would say this, that would be far better for you to upgrade every day and to bring the changes through. So here, I'm really glad that some physicians are opening up to this knowledge, how to work really with all the stars and the planets, and how to see from a different level, a different perspective into astronomy, and what astrology that is, and how we can understand the many archetypes, and how we can change our own birth avenues. Let's speak about it that way, because they are so large and they have so much impact. It's not only about, you know, the DNA, and think about, you know, when a seed gets in the body and grows, there is a consciousness that is loaded in an embryo. So today it's very interesting to move out of the ego lanes and stepping full-time into spiritual science. Because science without spirit, there is no avenue for the rebel to bring through the new inventions, new knowledge, open up the higher levels of intelligence, and of course wisdom, the application of intelligence and how that comes true. And here comes the importance of really building your energy field with all 12 universes, as they carry particles of consciousness. We need to learn to work with and from as in co-creation, as they bring through our interconnected levels in the cosmos. And without it, without this vehicle of light around us and within us and spinning that inside out, there is no way we can connect to the higher levels of consciousness and thus create as is required on our evolutionary tracks. Because if we continue to create from the old tracks, then the body would result in decay again, no health, and thus a death penalty. So that would be extremely interesting to work with in research centers in universities. Because the most interesting thing I encountered is how to merge different levels of consciousness with a particular birth chart that thrives or drives or flows on its original lifelines. And let's say we have a Capricorn that taps into the consciousness of the Midnight Star. We have a somebody who's born, let's say, in the right way, and taps into the consciousness of Pluto. So when a Capricorn taps into Pluto, and the brain synapses that consciousness and gets degrees of knowledge coming through in the communication systems or through your Wi-Fi system, that would be completely different to a person that is born on the right way, such as a Scorpio that taps into Pluto. And of course, we're all unique, we have different characters, personalities, and all these can be polished to such a beautiful degree so that we can start really reinventing the beauty of light cities on Earth and light living on Earth. So that is one of my highest levels of passions, the neurology of the brain. And even, let's say, if like 100 people load the same technology and has the same capacities with that technology regarding the level of clarity we brought through the body, still we all have a unique communication with a certain star system, and thus the knowledge and the level of intelligence and wisdom we can intersynapse or interlink all these networks that create new consciousness, and putting that out. And I mean, yeah, maybe as a test and as a proof, like to 100 people and testing them in 1 week time. It is incredibly beautiful what kind of experiences come through with that, and merging these experiences that come out with the best of each unique person. That is new technology, that is new science, that is, I mean, not being afraid of coming up with brain capacities that empower the human kingdom, because that is what we are hitting, not at artificial intelligence. We want plain intelligence, because artificial intelligence cannot tap into the consciousness, what is termed spirit. Spirit will never go so low down into a machinery, no matter what, because we all have, in the first place, the capacity to encode and re-encode and interchange everything that stations in our biology. It's up to us to really take charge, be in control of it, and have the knowledge how to do that. So that is what we will learn about. And another very important thing is working with all that universal technology. It is interesting to notice how it changes your diet very fast. Sometimes every day, sometimes weekly, sometimes every 2 months. It depends on your work input, and that will be the output, of course. And here I would say it's all about the breathing system and your capacity to load that turbo motor that goes all up into the beyond. And of course, if you want a turbo motor, then there should be no end in what your interdisciplinary connections will bring true for you to attain that. And so here in 1 week time, opening up like the energy fields, opening up your interconnections, reconnecting with the solar's lesser universal systems, getting to know the different levels of knowledge, intelligence, wisdom, opening up to your individual powers. And especially here the technology, or opening up many applications in the brain is one thing, like on your cell phone, but the most beautiful thing is what I think is that many glands in the body have been cut out of the system when being born, because a body in soul consciousness or ego cannot withstand such a high glandular output. And that is one thing we will tap very deep in, because everything you are is electricity. It's neurology and how you conduct your electrical output. And that should be fun, of course. The science is fun, always has been fun. We cut it down so much into, you know, a bit too boring calculations. Well, the brain calculates itself, depending on your input and your connections. And that is what a turbo motor can do, opening up that motor into your source, opening up the breathing systems into the ethers and you know, the eternal immortal breathing system that heals the body inside out. And so you create certain floats, and of course that flow with all the water content. Very important as well is how you can build the fire up, and the fire in the body that grows with many other elements, and the element of earth, of course, and the metals. I'm getting very interested in the metals and how they coordinate with the biology of the body, how they coordinate with our capacity in spiritual science, because spirit and science, when they merge and open up into a level where we can tap straight into our source, I think there's a lot more that we could learn today, and very, very fast, because this airplane and its people needs a fast lane and moving forward very fast. Like we could change in 1 year time an entire university. We could change an entire school. So not to mention all the other institutions. But here, education, new educational systems are needed on a very high level. And this goes from very simplistic inputs with big results to a high scientific research degree that has multiple capacities depending on the goal, of course. The goal would set everything. The goal, that is your shot in your turbo motor. Okay, enjoy.